Okay, this is some examples from your worksheet on solving systems of equations by substitution. So the key thing here is I'm going to substitute in for one variable. So I have this nice variable y isolated here, and it equals 6x minus 11. So I will take my second equation, negative 2x minus 3y, and when I get a y, I will replace it with what y is equal to, negative 6x minus 11. This now gives me an equation with a single variable, just x, that I can solve for. Okay. The next thing I will do is distribute. Negative 2x. Negative 3 times 6x is negative 18x. Negative 3 times 11 is plus, negative 11 is plus 33. I'm going to do two things right now. I'm going to move the 33 to the other side by subtracting 33 from both sides. And I'm going to combine like terms. Negative 2x and negative 18x is negative 20x. And negative 7 plus negative 33 is negative 40. I'll divide by both sides by negative 20 to get x by itself. And I get x equals 2. I am not, however, done. I have one more step. I must solve for y. So I'm picking the easier equation to solve for y. The one that says y equals tends to be the easiest one. And I must plug in x, this being my x value that I just solved for, so 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 minus 11 is 1. Okay. My next example will be number 6. Go down to number 6 and do this one with me. So again, y is equal to 5x minus 7. So I substitute that in for the y. And it's always important to use parentheses when you substitute in. And I get negative 3x minus 2 times 5x minus 7. Negative 2 times 5x is negative 10x. So I'm distributing negative 2 times 7 is plus 14. So again, I'll move the plus 14 to the other side, just like I did in the last one. And I'll combine the negative 3x and the negative 10x. So go back to purple. So I get negative 13x equals negative 12 plus negative 14 is negative 26. I'll divide by negative 13 on both sides. And that gives me x equals 2 again. I'll take, again, my top equation. I will plug in my 2 for x. Five times 2 is 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. I guess I didn't do this on the first one. It's always good to write your answer as an ordered pair, x, y. And then we remember that this is an intersection of two lines, which is a point. Okay, now we're going to go through number 9. That's not how number 9 starts. Okay, and this one does not have one in y equals form. So I'm going to take my top equation and I'm going to set it equal to y by adding 5x to both sides. So this will get me a single variable, y equals 5x minus 2. I chose the top equation and I chose to solve for y because y was the only variable without a number in front of it. The number in front we call a coefficient. It was the only variable without a coefficient, so it was the easiest one to solve for. Now I cannot plug this in for the y into the same equation. I must plug into my other equation, negative 3x plus 6 times, what did I just solve for? Y, 6y, which y is 5x minus 2, so 6 times 5x minus 2 equals negative 12. Now I will distribute. 6 times 5x is 30x. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. Okay, I will add 12 to both sides. And combine these two, I get 27x. Oops, let's go back to my purple. 27x equals 0. That's perfectly valid. I can divide by 27 and get x equals 0. I'm going to choose this equation to plug into because it's still my top equation, just in a different form, and that form happens to be handy. It's y equals form. Y equals 5 times the x value I just solved for, 0 minus 2. 5 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. My ordered pair, they intersect at 0, negative 2. Okay, last one we're going to do is number 18. This just happens to work out that I'm going to choose the top equation again to solve for. My logic here, I'm going to solve for x in the top equation. And the reason behind that is that's the smallest coefficient. These are all, the coefficients negative 2, 6, and 6 are all even numbers. So when I divide by negative 2, this should work. So I'm going to start by moving the 6y to the other side. Yeah, most of them we've solved for y. It doesn't matter. We solve for whatever's easiest. So this gives me negative 2x still on the left and negative 6y plus 6. The 6 was positive, so it's a plus 6. I will now divide everything by negative 2. And reduce. This is going to cancel with that. This is going to reduce to a 3. And that will reduce to positive 6 of divided by negative 2 is negative 3. So I end up with x equals positive 3y minus 3. I will now take my bottom equation and plug that in. Negative 7 times, now I'm plugging in for x because I have what x equals. I'm going to distribute. That's negative 21y plus 21 plus 8y equals negative 5. Solving this equation, I will subtract 21 from both sides. And then I'll take this 8y and this negative 21y and combine them. Negative 21y plus 8y is negative 13y. Negative 5 plus negative 21 is negative 26. I will divide by negative 13 on each side. And notice, yes, I did run out of space. It's okay. I'm going to come up over here. Negative 13 over negative 13 leaves me with just a y on the left. And negative 26 divided by 13 is 2. And I'm going to use this equation right here. This one that says x equals. So now I've got y, so I got to plug in for y. But I'll use the x equals equation to solve for x. Y is 2. X equals 3 times 2 is 6. Minus 3. 6 minus 3 is 3. I finish by writing my answers as an ordered pair. 3, 2. Okay, those are your 4 examples. Please finish up the worksheet.